Hi guys, Dara here. As you know, I can't be in class, but we will work through the map skills paper together anyway. I hope you all remembered to bring your earphones. If you did, you will be working on this individually, which means you can pause whenever you need to. If not, you might all be watching as a group. If this is the case, don't be afraid to ask to pause the video and re-watch a section if you get lost. Okay, first let's look back on last week's work. Remember that it is important to read the key carefully and to be aware of the similarities and differences of the symbols. Now, get your map and your exam booklet. You will remember that page 1 has a figure which shows some of the features in the north of the map extract. Last week we learned how to section off the part of the map that the question is asking us to focus on. First, we look at the coordinates on the extract, then we find them on the map. These are 4-figure grid references. So we go along the corridor. Here we are reading the numbers along the bottom of the extract first, then up the stairs. Now we are reading the numbers up the sides of the extract. So the number in the bottom left corner is 38, 33, the number in the bottom right corner is 42, 33, the number in the top left corner is 38, 36, and the number in the top right corner is 42, 36. Last week we found these points and sectioned them off on the map, like this. Now study the area that we sectioned off on the map, find the features from the map extract in the main map using the 4-figure grid reference and answer the questions in the exam booklet. First, we have to identify the type of road at A. Start by finding the road in the map. Use the 4-figure grid references, but be careful. There is more than one piece of communication infrastructure in that area. Don't get them mixed up. Use the pattern to help you. Check the key. As you can see, more than one road is that same color. Some have borders, others don't. So, how can you tell which type of road is it? Look for borders, and at the width of this road and other roads in the map. Pause the video while you compare the roads. In this case the answer is State Road, but Cambridge would also accept E6 Road or Country Road as an answer. Road on its own would not be accepted though. Next we have to identify feature B. Use the 4-figure grid reference to identify the grid square in which you can find feature B on the main map. Then check against the key. Pay attention to details like a pattern or a color which might help you. Pause the video while you do this. That's right. It is a footpath. You can say either unmarked footpath or footpath. Cambridge will accept either. Now we have to identify feature C. Again, use the 4-figure grid reference to identify the grid square in which you can find feature C on the main map. This time, the shape of the feature in the extract can help you. Then check against the key. Pause the video while you do this. If you said Lake Boson, that is correct. You can write just a lake, or Lake Boson. Cambridge will accept either. They will also accept Boson River and Lake Boson with max a minute lake elevation. They will not accept any other lake names though. The next question is, what is the height above sea level at D? Don't forget, you need to give the answer in meters. First use the 4-figure reference number to help you find the grid square. The little dot the arrow is pointing to in the extract is D on the map, so you need to find that point. Can you see it? That is a spot height, and the number beside it is the correct answer. In this case the answer is 833 meters. Next up is the 6-figure grid reference of the house at Maya. Can you remember how we find a 6-figure grid reference? That's right, we add tenths. Last time I showed you how to do it by hand, but you should be able to use your ruler. Every 2 lines on indicating millimeters on the ruler is 1 line of tenths. Don't forget that the first column is 0. So, first we get the 4-figure grid reference by going along the corridor and up the stairs, then we can add our tenths as needed. By doing this we can see that the 4-figure grid reference is 39, 35, and so we can immediately eliminate 382, 355 as well as 355, 392, and 408, 366. Now we need to add the tenths in. Pause the video while you do this. So, what did you get? If you answered 391, 354, you would get 2 points. If you answered 391, 355, it is worth 1 point. If we turn the page in the exam booklet, you will see that the question is a cross-section. Do you remember what a cross-section is? It is essentially a line which cuts along the map. In this case it is a cross-section along northing 345 from the western edge of the map at 340, 345 to 400, 345, passing through the summit of the mountain Teigkampen. When you have found the 2 points of the cross-section, you will have to finish the diagram in the exam booklet. First, you should look at the contour lines. The more space there is between each line, the more gentle the slope is. The closer together the lines are, the steeper the slope. Place a piece of paper along the cross-section and use it to mark each contour line. This will be the guide for the shape of your diagram. You can use a ruler too. Check the pages in the book for further guidance. Then, look for some indication about the height interval, or the difference between the height of each contour line. Just below the cross-section on the map we can see the height of some of the contour lines, 900 and 800 meters. Can you see them? Count the number of lines between the contour line at 800 meters and at 900 meters. 5 lines to cover 100 meters. That means that the interval between each contour line is 20 meters. Then look that he spot height in grid square 34, 34. Can you see it? It's 796 meters. This can be the starting point for drawing the diagram. Start by checking if the diagram hits that height already, and draw from there. The other tasks are to use a labeled arrow to show the positions of the railway and a marked footpath. Much in the same way that we used contour lines to complete the diagram, you will use the contour lines which indicate the height on the diagram to help you. If you can figure out the height of the railway and the footpath, you are more likely to get the answer right. Pause the video while you do this. So when you have finished, the summit height of your diagram should be 1000 to 1100 meters and the summit should be 45 to 55 millimeters from left-hand margin of the diagram. The railway should be 83 to 91 millimeters from left-hand margin, while the footpath should be 98 to 104 millimeters from left-hand margin. As you can see, there is always a slight leeway of a few millimeters. But you should use a ruler to check your answer, because Cambridge will. The last question is another extract which shows part of the valley of the river Vinstra in the southwest of the map. First, use the 4-figure grid references to find that part of the map, then answer the question. The question needs you to compare the roads, settlements, land use and relief on the north side of the valley and the south side of the valley. You have to describe the differences, so you should use comparative language, and sentences like, on the north side of the valley there is blah blah blah, but on the south side of the valley there is, and so on. Pause the video while you do this. Now that you have finished your answers, check to see did you include all of the information you needed to. Roads. On the north side of the valley, the road network is denser compared to the south side which is less dense. Major state, country, county, district, and main roads predominantly lie in the north, with almost none found in the south. Both the north and south sides of the valley feature private roads, however, the south side has more private roads than the north side. The variety of roads in the north is notably wider than in the south. East to west roads are evident in both regions, but the roads in the north have more bends. In terms of gradient, the roads in the north tend to be steeper, whereas the south side has gentler roads. Despite these differences, the gradient of the roads in both the north and south either follow the slope or maintain a level path. Settlements. The north side of the valley has a higher density of settlements as compared to the south. There are houses, cabins, shanties, farms, and boat sheds in both the north and south, but there is a higher concentration of houses in the north. Both sides exhibit a dispersed pattern of settlements. Notably, the western part of the north side has more settlements, while the eastern part of the south side is more populated. In terms of accommodations, hotels or lodgings are present in the south, but not in the north. Land use. Cultivation is more dominant in the north side, whereas the south is mainly characterized by forests. Nevertheless, both areas have a commitment to nature conservation as evidenced by reserves. Relief. Both the north and south sides of the valley exhibit steep gradients. However, the north side reaches altitudes between 900 to 940 meters, while the south lies lower at altitudes ranging from 860 to 880 meters. On the south side, there are areas with gentler slopes, particularly on the southwest-facing slope which benefits from more sunlight. These areas lie below altitudes of 400 to 500 meters and are sheltered by the mountains, offering flat and qualified terrains. Okay, great work guys. When you are done, hand up the exam booklets and the maps. For homework I want you to ensure that you have your book for next week. Watch this video again along with the others, and read pages 193 to 196 and pages 200 to 202 and 206 to 209. We will do the tasks in class.